First of all, prayer. Prayer is the word of wisdom and the spread of positive vibration all mind to eradicate the positive thought. I invite Miss Dhanavashini of Second Income to sing a prayer song.
श्री महेश्वरी वासवी नगरीश्वरी परमेश्वरी कामितार्थमुलिच्छ ब्रोवमु कन्यका परमेश्वरी श्री महेश्वरी वासवी नगरीश्वरी परमेश्वरी कामितार्थमुलिच्छ ब्रोवमु कन्यका परमेश्वरी देवदेवी महेश्वरी जगदीश्वरी भुवनेश्वरी काववी ममुयल्लवेलल कन्यका परमेश्वरी बालचन्द्र किरीटधारिणि भव्य सुन्दर रूपिणी वैशवंशयशोभिवर्धिनि कन्यका परमेश्वरी श्री महेश्वरी वासवी नगरीश्वरी परमेश्वरी कामितार्थमुलिच्छ ब्रोवमु कन्यका परमेश्वरी कन्यका परमेश्वरी कन्यका परमेश्वरी.
Thank you, Miss Dhanavashini. It's very pleasant. Now I request Dr. A.S. Naglata Ma'am, Innovation Coordinator, to introduce the resources person.
Thank you, Bharati. Good afternoon to all. A hearty welcome to all on behalf of our management, Sri Kanaka Parameshwari Devasthanam and Charity, Honorary Correspondent Sir, Gogilam Ramesh Sir, our Dynamic Principal Madam, Dr. T. Mohanashri, Energetic Vice Principal, Dr. P.B. Vanitha Madam, Academic Vice Principal, Dr. M.B. Napine Madam, and IIC team of Sri Kanaka Parameshwari Arts and Science College for Women. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce our speaker of the day, our resource person, Dr. J. Lisha Siba Rani, a librarian, Innovation Ambassador, Women's Christian College, Chennai. Dr. J. Shiba Rani has completed her master in library and examination an intern at American Embassy Library, Chennai, followed by a project internship from the University of Mysore. She has 21 plus years of experience from various arena of librarianship. She has experience of bundle of library service from predominant institutions like EID Parry, Tata Consultancy Services, and Women Christian College, Chennai. Her proficiency were structured and honed from these industry and corporate and academic library experiences. Besides this, she has organized and attended various international national conferences, seminars, and workshops in the field of librarianship. She has also published journal, article, and presented papers in the field of library and information science. Her area of specialization are information services, library management, and marketing of library services. Owing to her credit in the field of library professional management, chosen a PhD research topic, a study on work-life balance and identity of library profession. She is also additionally being part of institution innovation cell at her current institution as a member and as MHRD Innovation Ambassador, thus promoting and nurturing the young mind of unleashed and potential to become a successful citizen of the country. She is being instrumental in strategizing and organizing many relevant programs pertaining to the Innovation Club at Women Christian College. She is also an alumnus of University of Mysore as well as Bishop Herb College, Tiruchirappalli. With this short note, I welcome you, ma'am, and thank you for giving your presence. Now the platform is open for you, madam. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Nagalata. I thank the management of Sri Kanyapka Parameshwari College, and I also thank the honorary correspondent, principal, IPC coordinator, and president of IIC and the coordinator, and all of you. Can I share my presentation now?
Ma'am?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I share the presentation?
Yeah, ma'am, you can.
Yeah. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
First and foremost, I thank the Lord Almighty for this beautiful day. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a great privilege and an opportunity to be with you all today through this event. I'm thankful once again to the management and all the conveners and IIC members and every one of you from Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari College for having invited me for this event. This session would be an orientation on IIC, especially on innovation and what it has for each and every one of us to pick further. So we will be discussing about what is innovation, the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, initiatives brought in by IIC, and intellectual property right and Kapila program of IIC. Finally, we'll be sharing a bit of experience what WCC does. So as I told you, all of us are into something. Like any human being who's born in this world certainly has got some kind of knowledge and some kind of creativity within us. There's no one is left without creativity or innovation. But it's up to us how we are thinking and we are kindling and sparkling our energy and we are producing in the more successful way comes the innovation. And here I want to urge each and every one of you, especially the student community. Each one of you is privileged to attend this program because you are studying in a very good academic institution where they're nurturing innovation in terms of IIC programs. So this is an opportunity for you to learn a lot of new things and understand the nuances of innovation and make yourself equipped and use it as a positive productivity when you go out of the institution. That is what every IIC actually expects from the student community. And when we talk about innovation, what is innovation to us? We know that innovation is something new, something novel. Can mere idea or our expectation or imagination becomes a successful innovation? I don't think so. So whatever our ideas, or whatever we think, whatever we plan or imagine has to come out in a tangible or intangible way that has to be a product or that has to be a model or that has to be a process. And it needs to be shared in the community and it has to bring forth the value and it has to be competent enough and it has to be a problem solver. So that is what actually what innovation is all about. So who are these people? Can any one of the student can figure out who's the first person in the picture? Can you just chat with us so that we'll understand, like, can you able to identify the first person? Can anyone identify who's that? Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am. You are,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, any guesses? You can just chat through.
It's not moving to the next one, ma'am.
Actually, the first person is, can you see the picture of two people? Can you see the picture of two people in this innovation screen?
Ma'am, voice is not audible.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yeah, ma'am, it is clear now.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Can you identify the person who's there in the picture, the first person?
Shakespeare.
Any other answers?
William Shakespeare.
Okay. Any other guesses? I can give you the clue. He's connected with innovation.
Alexander Graham Bell, ma'am.
Okay. Without taking much time, I'll tell you. All of us, being the librarian, I feel proud that we are surrounded by printed books. We are surrounded by the printed material, apart from the electronic resources. So the print press, the printing press, which we see in the form of written document, is actually being found by Johannes Gutenberg. So the first person in the picture whom you see is Johannes Gutenberg, who is the inventor of printing press. And we know a lot of inventions and innovations happen in the earlier period from the very inception of mankind, like finding out wheel or finding out steel or telescope or whatnot, the mobile phones, what we use, the technology, what we use today, everything like takes part in innovation and the creativity, what the humankind brought in. And the second person is like all of us know who he is. I'm sure that all of you would have by now guessed, and he is nobody other than Steve Jobs. And he was the founder of Apple Incorporation. And you know, the tremendous changes and the technology he brought into the world where we are enjoying now. And who could be the third person? First, I spoke about Johannes Gutenberg, who found a printing press. Second is Steve Jobs. And who could be the third person? Any wild guesses? Whom you think that will come fit into that picture?
Elon Musk, ma'am.
Okay. Any other guesses? I can give 3 chances to other 2 people. Be free. Feel free to tell whatever you think. Just speak aloud.
Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or
Gandhiji?
Okay. Thank you for all your answers. I know that all of them would fit into the picture, but why don't you think that the third person in the world, the biggest innovator, could be you? You never thought that you could fit into that picture. I'm sure, like one of the students or one of the faculty members who's listening to this might be a great innovator tomorrow, might be a great innovator in the future. It's all about how you're trying to understand yourself within and bring out the potential what you have within. So I wish that like I would see that like one of you become a great innovator of the future, and thus you build the nation. And as we talked about innovation, I don't want to get into too much like what innovation is and examples of innovation. Like we talk about America, we talk about United Kingdom, Australia, and many other countries. We talk about Russia and the innovations, what happened in different countries. Have you ever thought about like what our country, our own country, India has brought into us? And there are wide varieties of resources available for us in abundance. Are we actually looking into the opportunities and problems and the solutions which are available in front of us? Have you ever got into the practice of understanding what our country actually offers? Of course, MOE, that is the Ministry of Education. Formerly, it was called the MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development. Now, it is called as the Ministry of Education since 2020, end of 2020. It is all, brought in Innovation Cell. So the Innovation Cell, what MOE brought in, is been established in the year August 2018 by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. Now it is called as Ministry of Education, along with AICT. What they do actually, they systematically foster the culture of innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups in major higher education institutions in India. And we should know when we talk about MOE's Innovation Cell, who's the Chief Innovation Officer of IIC. We should know the name Dr. Abhay Jare, who's appointed as first Chief Innovation Officer. He is the brain behind all of us functioning under IIC. So what are all the various initiatives Ministry of Education has brought in for us? One such as, like, as I told you, it's Innovation Council. Innovation Council, like, actually ranks the frameworks and finding out the ideas and incubations and so many other things about our cognitive ability for technology students and so many other things it actually brings in. And the second thing is ARIA. When somebody mentions the term ARIA, especially students, you should know what is ARIA is all about. ARIA is nothing but Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements. So what you do, whatever innovations, whatever entrepreneurship you bring into your institution will get into this forum where your institutions will be ranked higher. So based on your performance, based on your input, the ranking actually goes up. So the Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements is an initiative of MOE, Government of India, to systematically rank all major higher education institutions and universities in India, which is an indicator of innovation and entrepreneurship development. Especially, like it's mentioned that it's amongst students and faculties. And the other initiative is Yukti 2.0. Yukti 2.0 is another platform. It is round the clock, round the year it functions. Whatever innovations you are actually bringing in, whatever new ideas you are creating within you, and you can make it as a working prototype model and it can be submitted under Yukti 2.0. The selected innovations will be considered for seed funding and mentoring. I'll just take you to the platform of Yukti 2.0. So this is how it works. So you see, there are a lot of innovation submissions are happening. It is round the clock, and funding is available, and a lot of other inputs you find in this. See, they are committed to build and nurture startup ecosystem in education institutions. So when you find time, like during your summer holidays, I urge the students like go through these kind of platforms, understand what it offers for you, what it is lying, like what actually it actually caters to your requirement. So based on that, you can actually promote your innovations. And the other one is NISP. NISP is the National Institution Startup Policy. National Institution Startup Policy, actually 2019 is the latest one. You can go through this document and you can actually download and view. There are a lot of like nuances, a lot of inputs given for the faculties and students, like how students can get benefited out of this, how your entrepreneurship skill, how your innovative skills can be honed and how it can be nurtured, it can be funded. There are a lot of opportunities are lying in this, and you can see this NISP document of 2019 and understand like what it actually gives you. And the other initiative is hackathon, and we all heard about the term hackathon, and we feel something which is very complex and which is enormous, where we cannot understand what it is. Initially when I heard the term hackathon, I didn't know what it actually means, and I had to literally see the dictionaries and other things like thesaurus to understand what actually means. But it is all about like your ideas are put in a proper way and it's been developed into a product. And here I want to tell you that you might be a computer science student where you're well versed in technology. You might be an information technology person where you can just like that cater through all these things. But I want to talk to the other students who are from science background or from commerce background. Do not get carried away by those kind of fear within you. Every one of you have got different aspects of ideas in you. See, there is a hackathon for drug discovery hackathon. Who could be the better person than the chemistry people who can find out the drug discovery? And who can be a better person than the visual communication students finding out Toykathon 2021? So for every one of you, like be it a technology or non-technology platform, like there are wide, like ample like opportunities are available through this hackathon. Whenever it comes, when the hackathons are introduced or announced through this innovation institution innovation council, just take part. Don't worry that like you can make it. Winning is not the idea here. Taking part is the idea. Just take a little step and just contribute to these things, like pull in your ideas here. Also I want to suggest, in case you feel lacking in information technology, or the information technology person is feeling lacking in science background, you can join together. Multidisciplinary research and multidisciplinary collaborations are actually being nurtured in this current scenario. So join together, and different departments, different ideas, different inputs, you can make wonders and you can actually win through these things. And if you win through, certainly like you will be taken as one of the top persons in institution innovation council, be funded, and your future is settled there. And I certainly say that it has got a lot of wide opportunity for you. And the other one is Institutions Innovation Council. To be very precise, like we are part of Institution Innovation Council, and he is Dr. Abhay Jare, the Chief Innovation Officer, and ample of resources available here, and this information and knowledge like are available in abundance in these sites. Go to whenever you find time, you understand like what they talk about, what they discuss, what is that they need you to do, so that you will pick up like the ideas and you can go further. So if you take the major activities of them, innovation ambassador, so every 2 years, I think this is the second time it's going to come up, and innovation ambassador programs exclusively for faculty members. And they have in 4 different types of innovation ambassador program, like design thinking, IPR and technology transfer, incubation, and entrepreneurship. So whichever your mind is lying, like whichever you are interested in, you can attend such innovation ambassador program and get yourself certified, and you can be a resource person for some other college or your own college, and you can be a mentor in the future. And the second one is impact lecture series. Innovation Council actually bringing in a lot of impact lecture series. Recently, we attended the World IP Day. We have attended a program, and there are many leadership talks, like how you can convert your PhDs and your PG dissertations or thesis into a startup, how it can be mobilized into your commercial product. So those kind of information, like you can learn through this information lecture series, and they're available in YouTube. And anytime you can watch it, even if you missed earlier ones, you can go and watch it, learn a lot of new things out of that. And there are many online sessions conducted by them. And as I told, national innovation contests, like in terms of hackathon and many other contests, and international exposure for the people who have been through, and they guide you through mentor-mentee programs. So go through this platform. Like in 2019, proof of concept contests were there. In 2020, innovation contests where there are many things are there. You can go to this platform and see for yourself. And whatever like work we do, we need money, right? Like without money, without fund, without any financial background or support, we cannot go further. Like the institutions, though it's expected that 1% of your finance, it has to be assigned for IIC, for innovation programs or incubation or startup programs, but still, like how so much of fund we can generate from the institution for all these things. So there are many ways. Go to this source which I mentioned here. I can also share the PPT with Dr. Nagalata ma'am. You can get it from her. So go through the sites, and there are a lot of guidelines, and you can find out like different projects, different POCs were credited, like amount sanctioned, and the different institutions, who's working, which state, even in from Tamil Nadu to people have got this fund. So go through that, like understand like what actually they have done and how they have been taken into consideration. So learn all those things in the initial stage, so that you will get a better idea like what you can go about it. You might be much better than this also. So only thing, like you will have to actually understand what it tells you. And innovation is always, it's a great choice, and it's also a chance for us to develop and to unleash our horizons and to go beyond the boundaries. And they actually conduct, as I told you, ambassador programs in these 4 areas: design thinking and innovation, IPR and technology transfer, pre-incubations and incubation management, entrepreneurship development program. So when it comes to design thinking, it sounds very fancy. It sounds very fancy, and it looks simple, it looks complex, and it's kind of mixed feeling we get what's design thinking all about. And what is your opinion? Like, what do you think design thinking is about? Can anyone tell, like, what is design thinking? From your understanding or what you know about it, you can share with us. What is design thinking? Am I there?
Ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay. So design thinking, they actually talk about 5 steps. Like it could be empathize, or it could be ideate, test, create, prototype, define. Don't get worried. Like the terms might look very difficult. I can tell you one simple example. Empathize, ideate, test, create, prototype, define. These are all the not linear steps. You can make it as a cycle in any way which you want. You can test first and then ideate, or you can empathize and then create. You can make it according to your convenience. So these five techniques of design thinking, what it talks about, to put in a small an example. All of us, like we are all, most of us are women here, I think, in this forum. And I think all of us almost, like, we carry handbags. We have vanity bags, we have purses. And when we step out, the first thing what we do is we pick up our bag and we load our bag with whatever we like. People might like anything like notebooks or lipsticks or whatever, like whatever we have, we put in our bag and take it, cell phones or whatever. So have you ever understood, have you ever noticed like what your friend is carrying? I mean, not inside the material, what kind of bag she's carrying, what kind of bag your teachers are carrying, what kind of bags your students are carrying. Have you ever thought about it? So if you keep observing every human, each one of us got different tastes, different notions, different feel like what we choose actually. When you go to the shop, like we might pick the environmental friendly bags, or we might pick the bags of leathers with high quality, or some might go for branded, some might go for just the cheap one, but again a sturdy one. Like everyone has got different views and perceptions towards just by selecting their bags. So one of you, the students, like you might be interested in stitching a bag or making a bag. You might be interested in this. Why not you make it as a business? Because it is a pandemic period and you're at home, and most of the time, like you're confined to four walls of your home. So how you if you are interested in creating a bag, for example, I'm just giving a bag as an example. You might be good at painting, or you might be good at tailoring, or you might be good at cooking and anything. Like in case if you're looking bag as a commercial product, first thing that you need to empathize in the sense, understand who are going to be a customer and understand what exactly they need. And then you have to go ahead. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am, you're
ma'am.
audible, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So create a prototype. Prototype means like what? Prototype is nothing but a sample. It's tell in Tamil, it is actually, I can say that it is a munmadri. Like it is a sample, just a sample. Prototype means don't think that something very, very difficult and you cannot do it. Prototype is like what you're going to produce, what you're going to go through. It could be a processor, or it could be a circuit, or it could be a system, or it could be a mere bag or whatever, or painting. Like how you're going to go about the links, the systems, and how that is actually a prototype. So as I told you, like just by selling a bag, like if you have a design thinking, that is, design thinking is nothing but solving a problem creatively. So how creatively you're solving a problem, accordingly your product is going to be sold, accordingly your product is going to be the high trendy ones in the market. So that is what they talk about. So you can apply design thinking in your work area, you can apply design thinking in your studies, in your like career, in your personal friend, wherever, like a little bit you pick and you apply these ideas, like tools like empathize, ideate, test. It can be tested and retested to understand how it fits in. So accordingly, if you do it, ideally the final product will be a successful one. And the second one is IPR and technology transfer. IPR is nothing but intellectual property right. So whatever we think, can idea be protected? It cannot be. An idea, a mere idea cannot be protected. But if the idea is bringing in terms of tangible or intangible, like in terms of, for example, an algorithms, or in terms of what to say, a book, written book, or it can be like a product, or it can be a trademark, trade secrets. These kind of things can be protected. So when you do a protection under IPR, your product becomes your own, and you get the rights that nobody else is copying your products or ideas. So that's where the IPR lies. And pre-incubation and incubation management, I'll just discuss about that a little later. And entrepreneurship development program. This is one of the entrepreneurship development program what you're seeing now, like different innovation programs, talks and ideas, and bringing people from outside or your own alumna, and you bring in and make them talk about their experiences and their expertise and share their knowledge, and these things becomes a part of entrepreneurship development program. You can take them for a visit to different places, and now we are in pandemic, so we are actually held not visiting other places. So once everything is fine, you can take the people to places like IIT incubation centers and IIC centers, where they tell us a lot of new ideas and like best practices we can learn from those higher educational institutions. And when you think about it, how you have to go about it, you have to generate an idea. In case if you have an idea, just generate it and make it as a proof of concept. Like make it as a proof of concept, concept. And as I told you, it has to be a working prototype in terms of like it has to be a model, or it has to be a system, or it has to be a functional product, and it, create a model, and it need to be protected by IP. Then you can do a startup project, and it can be incubated under incubation center, and finally you can identify the business opportunities. So these steps you need to follow when you create a product, from your idea to the project which is scalable, is in these lines. And what ideas you can generate. So when you're creating a like idea, maybe you might have a problem in your own society, or in your college, or external to your college, or in your family, or anything it could be. So find out what problem it is and how you can go about solving it. That is what is called the idea and problem solving technologies. And if you have no ideas, you can go to these themes which are given by Ministry of Innovation Council, where you can find out like there are many ideas like healthcare problems, and now no like finding out a new way of suppressing this virus, and how we can protect ourselves. These are all new ideas in the healthcare people are expecting us. And it could be in agriculture, it could be in organic agriculture, or it could be in rural development. How will you help the women of rural background to bring forth their products, and how you can be a channel between the rural people and the society itself, how you can help them come out of their nutshell and just bring out their products into the market. You can create a web portal, or you can connect them through your lot of opportunities you have, where you can find out and helping these rural development people. And you can also think of smart vehicles, food processing, robotics, drones. They are all in like expected out of us, that we can create ideas. And waste management, and in terms of like a polluted water or polluted air, how will you convert it to the usable one? How will you convert it to a clean potable water? And renewable energy, internet of things based technologies, ICT, and artificial intelligence, machine learning, and whatnot. There are many things, like blockchain is in trend now, and cognitive computing and cloud computing is
Ma'am.
trend now. Yeah, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am,
Hello.
your voice is audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's a crosstalk. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. And other emerging areas of innovation startup opportunity, your own thing also you can identify. So there are many things in like ample things are available in Government of India portal, and you can identify which one actually fits in. So food processing, you can, being at home, like we are interested in cooking, and how best we can process the food, and how best we can actually make the food like not more, not adulterated, how the organic food can be, a seed can be developed, seed banks can be developed. So many things we have in hands, and you can explore all these things. And you can also go for, like for example, you can go for gardening and identify like how you can propagate the like plants, and how medicinal plants can be propagated. You can find out a lot of nuances, and people like botany, and you can understand these things sitting at home, and how best scientists you can become in a botany. So there are many things are available for you. You have to think about it. So when you think of an idea, always like it's good that we think of the social innovation. So what we think, like it has to be a solution to the social problem. So we need to be more empathetic, like more understanding, because we are the society, right? Like now we never expected in one like earlier that like we will run out of oxygen is available free of cost, it's available in abundance. That's what we were thinking. We never thought in earlier days that we will run and we'll find ways of getting good water by paying money. We never thought of all those things. See, now the basic things, the basic five elements, what we need to have, the fire, water, and air, and those are polluted, and we need to pay money and get it. So how our ideas and a solution can be a social innovation, and we need to be the change maker of the society. So that is the spirit, like each student, like you need to understand like how can I help the society to develop, how can I contribute to the nation's development, instead of pointing at others that they are not doing, and she's not doing, he's not doing. What am I doing? That has to be the question always we need to have within us. And I'm not able to control myself, because being the librarian, it's my responsibility that I need to show at least one book for you to read. There is a book termed as social innovation. This is a Kindle book which is available in Amazon. You can either buy it, or you can even just go through the table of contents and abstracts. You can understand what the book talks about. And that way you will understand what social innovation is all about. There are many books are available. You can actually go through, and now Amazon Kindle is available. You can also, there are many free books available, and I'm sure that your library must be having a lot of database like Enlist and other things. Just speak to your librarian and get to know these resources, and from there you can find out different, and you can learn all these things. And what is incubation is all about? Incubation is nothing but a space, exclusive space, a room, or a, a corner which is given in your institution for open innovation. That place has to be available for any student who's creating or who's developing some product, or they need some place where they have to understand what their product, how it has to be, and that has to be given to them. That's called incubator or incubation. And that place or the people, and the infrastructure facility or the lab facility, slowly, like every college now, they are moving into these areas, how we can provide the incubation center or incubation corner to each and every student, where we can find those like-minded people sit together and work, where we ample facilities, like it could be a mere facility like a system or a printer or lab equipments or infrastructure, where they cannot get it on their own, can be provided by the institutions. So these are all the expectations from the incubation, and the institutes are giving seed grants for their innovations, and students can get a little bit of fund to begin with your innovation, and you can go ahead. And another thing is, the good thing about incubation is collaborations and partnerships. Collaborations, partnerships is not merely within your own circle. It is the partnership between your neighbor institutions or institutions in abroad, institutions across the country. It gives a platform, it gives a path for us to collaborate and connect with people. Now I'm connected with Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari only through IIC. So this is how we meet people, we understand, we learn, and finally, like, we understand world is just a globe, and we are in a small village, and we are connected with each other. So that is what these kind of collaborations, partnerships will fetch in. And mentorship programs can be conducted through this, referral programs can be conducted through this, and it can be a connecting a platform for angel investors. There are many angel investors available in the country itself, in Tamil Nadu itself. Angel investor is nothing but like the people who are interested in sponsoring for your products, the people who are interested in helping you, like hand help in continuing your ideation, continuing your feature, like what you're going through. So those kind of things can be connected through this incubation. I've given 3 links, just an example. The Startup India blog, you can follow under startupindia.gov.in. If you keep observing these blogs, you will understand there are many talks going in that, and it will give you a lot of ideas, and you just explore yourself, and you find out, like, you be a part of that, and just you may not be contributing in the initial stage, but you may be an observer. So eventually I'm sure that you will be contributing a lot in it. Once you observe, once you learn, once you listen, you actually become an expert later stage. And other one is IITM incubation. Like personally, I would say that, like from WCC, we have visited before beginning this IIC, like commencing the IIC program. We visited the Madras IIT, and they have an incubation center, and beautifully they explain like how they help the society, how they help each and every person, like who is coming up with different innovative ideas, how they help them develop their startup products by providing their space and their laboratory material infrastructure. When time finds, like, you can go there and visit after this pandemic time. And the third one is the rise.asia, and many of you would have heard about these rise programs. They are especially for Tamil entrepreneurs. They have a huge link across the world. So go through this platform like the rise.asia, and if you are a startup or if you're a beginner or entrepreneur, I think there are many people are there to help you how to go further and fund you, and they'll give you ideas how to go about it. So I just gave a few examples here on incubation. You can actually look into this, and it will take you further. And as I told you earlier, so whatever products you're creating, or whatever ideas you're bringing into the tangible form in terms of books, or it can be a trademark or anything, it has to be protected on these categories. So whatever you bring in, it has to be protected. Otherwise, it will be I cannot use the word stolen, or it can be actually misappropriately used by somebody else, or somebody else can actually take your credit. So if not the bulb, the innovation of bulb, or innovation of telephone or telescope, if it has not been patented, it would have been given by somebody else. There are a lot of things like copyrights. I would say a book, any book, if you open and see, you can see the symbol with the C, with a circle. That means copyright. An author, when he writes a book, the book is automatically being copyrighted when it goes under ISBN. So, according to the latest copyright rule, any author after his publication and his life and plus 70 years, the book cannot be copied in any form. It cannot be multiplied in any form without the Copyright Protection Act. I mean, without the proper permission from the author or the publisher. So that is how it is being protected. And under trademark, we can talk about logos. Under patent, we can talk about our innovations, what we give. And patent, like it goes into three categories. It has to be novel, and that means the novelty they expect. Novelty means like it is new. It is not done by anybody earlier. And inventive step. Inventive step is like how new, like inventive steps it has been carried out. And the third thing, they think that it has to be non-obviousness. For example, if you're creating a fan, a person who's creating a fan should not tell that it is easy. I can make out like how did you create the fan. It should be non-obvious, and it should be capable of industrial application. So these are all the like parts, like these are all the steps they actually find, like look for patent. And industrial design, it could be the shapes or surface, like a Coca-Cola or Pepsi bottle. It has its own shapes, and like whatever, even the cutlery is what we use at home. Like if it is a branded one, it has its own like shape, or the surface what it use, or the material what is used. All these are patented. And the geographical indications, I can say that the Kanjipuram silk saris, or the rise of Banaras saris, or the rice what we produce in the country, it indicates the place, the locations. That is geographical indication. And the trade secrets is like it could be the secret what they find in, I mean, have in their trade. Like for example, achi masala. We never know that what exactly they do to bring in such a tasty masala. So these kind of things like are protected, and it is a vast area. Like talking about intellectual property, right? I just shown you like little bit about this. You can learn it by yourself later on. And how do you nurture this intellectual property literacy? And there is a program which is actually recently launched by the Innovation for Higher Education Institutions, that is Kapila. So when somebody mentions Kapila, you should know that it has been launched by the Honorable Union Education Minister, Shri Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, and it is launched on on behalf of a beloved former president and the scientist, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, on his birthday. So we all know that his 89th birthday was last year, and on October 15th. So on his birthday, on Dr. Kalam's birthday, this Kapila program was launched. So what it actually tells us, the Kapila program is on IP literacy and awareness. It recognizes, facilitates, and felicitates the intellectual property, innovations, and best practices of people like us, people who work or study in higher education. So go through this platform and understand what are the competitions they have done earlier. And if it is like ongoing programs, you can also take part in these kind of things. And on this day, the IIC 3.0, now we are in IIC 3.0 version, and it's been launched, and they also announced their website of IIC 3 on this day, on October 15th, on the birthday of our beloved President APJ Abdul Kalam. And to know more about intellectual property, and first about our country, like there are a lot of online trainings on IPR, there are a lot of joint workshops, and the mobile apps are available, which is handy. You can just take it in your phone wherever you go. You can just follow by creating RSS feed, and you can go to this ipindia.gov.in, and you find a lot of information in that, and what our country does, how it has to go about it, how people are filing patent, what is patent is all about. All this information you can get through this Intellectual Property India. And the other thing is WIPO. If anybody is talking about WIPO, the students, like you should know, it is World Intellectual Property Organization. So across the globe, actually it talks Global Innovation Index. It actually talks about the 131 economies and 131 countries which is ranked in that. So go and see the trends, like which country stands first, where India lies, and what should be your contribution to make the India scale up to come to the first or second position, and how best you can innovate and create copyrights, and you can file patents, and all this comes only if you take the small step of unleashing your potential and opening up your ideas. And there are a lot of case studies are available here, and you can also go through this WIPO and see. And now just note down this platforms ipindia.gov.in and wipo.int, which is an international platform. So up to now, we talked about like what is innovation and the contributions, like what we need to do for nation building, and what Ministry of Education has brought in, and what all the ideas are available for us, and what all the teams are available for us, where you can put your input and you can actually step in. And we always believe that we can take the horse to the water, but we cannot make drink the horse. So I'm not comparing you with the horse. I'm just taking in some other way. Like I know that our students, like we can take you through these platform, but I know that like if we show you can do multifold wonders than us, and you've got the potentials and you've got all the talents within you. So I'm sure that like all of you are talented, and that's why you are blessed to be here today in IIC platform. So understand all these things and learn all these things on your own when you're convenient time, and it's available. Everything is for you. And I know that like information and knowledge is not a paid service all these days. It's available open access, so you can go and see and understand, learn, and go ahead further. And I also want to tell like what's WCC, like what we do a little bit in Institution Innovation Council, and like how we began our journey. And as I told you, 2018 August, IIC has been initiated, but in our college, like our journey began in the year 2019. And we have two platforms like a Zeal and Blaze. That is the logo we have created for our team. Zeal is for innovation and Blaze is for entrepreneurship. So there are two groups which are simultaneously functioning under Institution Innovation Council. And we are two bodies but work under one umbrella, so that like parallelly we work together in connection with each other. So that is how our journey is started. And there are many programs like you we have comments with, and our students have participated. And just to give you a glimpse, I just want to show you that our students have taken part in internal Smart India Hackathon 2020. And when it began in the year 2020, and most of us, including me, we were not sure like what hackathon is all about. We actually learned what the term is all about, and we understood. And more than 70 students finally they brought in their ideas and they participated in this. And it could be technology or it could be non-technology, it could be a hardware or software. In any field, they're encouraging you to participate in these programs. And we also have conducted different programs like national communication skill challenges, and we give platforms for our students, the budding entrepreneurs of our student community, to share their experiences. And many students are capable of doing different business on their own, so we give them the platform to have their entrepreneurship cell and entrepreneur shops, and we have a e-shop in the college, and that way we help them unleash their potential. And the fourth is like our principal, like honoring Dr. Rachna Dave, and she is an CEO, and she came and ignited the young minds of our students. Likewise, there are many examples. I just want to show you a few things like what WCC did in all these days. And this is what is the takeaway. This is mainly a put in for the student community. So if you take see the students what they say, that help them in decision making, and they have broader their view about innovation and creative thinking, and they have improved their communication and networking with innovators among students, staff, outsiders. And the reason behind the importance of innovation in today's world. So I just gave you two feedback from our team, and the takeaway is what our past students have carried with them. I know that like if you're part of Innovation Council, Institution Innovation Council, the students, those who are the office bearers, or you can be a member, but ultimately when you go out of the institution, you will learn a lot of things. So I encourage all of you to work closely with IIC and learn all these newer skills which is required for you to go into the market. And we always feel that together we are stronger. Together we are strong. And the first picture shows about the 2019 and 2020 batch of IIC faculty and the students. And the second picture shows you 2020 and 2021 the IIST faculty and the students. So as a student group and faculty, we always feel that if we are working in silo and we'll become an island which is not connected. So we always feel only if you're connected with our students, we can do the best, because the students have got a lot more ideas, a lot more energies in them than us. So I know that each one of you are like that. So contribute majorly as much as possible to your institution and ensure that your institution scale ups in ARIA, Atal ranking, and in other platforms like National Institution Startup Policy and all these things. So that way your institution goes up in the ranking and eventually the nation itself goes up. So finally, I feel that what we learn becomes part of who we are. So I think like the little bit of knowledge what we have out of my experience as IIC member, I shared with you. I hope this was useful to you. And if you need any support further, like you can approach us through Dr. Nagalata. Uh, and I want to thank each one of you for your patience listening, and especially you want to talk, about Dr. Naglata and for her dedication and your contribution from the day of connecting with us. I sincerely thank you, ma'am, for all your support for making this happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Ms. Sushma S. Chawla, ma'am, to take up the question session.
Right now, I cannot see any questions posted in the chat box. So participants, if you have any queries, you can just write it in the chat box so that we can take it up. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can just post it in the chat box. We'll take it up.
You can unmute yourself and share your questions. Meanwhile, I have to thank Madam Isa Shibarani for accepting this invitation. And really, Madam, you have given a lot of stuffed information. Really, it worked so much. The people have really have a thought of startups and really thought of invention. So they might have tried this. Out of this, my own curiosity to know,
Yes, ma'am.
innovation, it is costly. Is it so, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Certainly. But I feel that more than the cost, like the idea is more costly, I would say, because it could be a small startup. For example, like our students, they're good at baking. Like one of the students, like she started her baking product in a small way from her home front. Now she's owning up a big uh, I want to say big entrepreneurship like area, because it can start in a small way, because we believe that a drop of water makes the ocean. So start, and certainly you don't know where the boundaries are going to fly through.
Any other question, girls? Here you have a resourceful person who could guide you. If you have any thought or idea of starting up, please share your ideas here. Madam will give you a lot of clarity. Any students are interested? Please unmute yourself and you can talk.
Not to worry. They can reach us anytime. We are there to like help you. And Dr. Naglata, you can also talk to Narmada ma'ams. If you need any assistance or any guidance in the future, certainly we will help you. And if not by us, we will also connect you with other people who are capable of helping you in whatever areas you're looking for.
Sure, madam. With pleasure. So Yeah, Ms. Shakti Bharati, you can carry on.
Okay, ma'am. Now I invite Haripriya TS was become to send a vote of thanks.
It's great to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of IQAC and Institution Innovation Council of Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari Arts and Science College for Women. First, I would like to thank our resource person, Dr. Lisa Shiba Rani ma'am, Librarian, Innovation Ambassador of Women's Christian College. Thank you, ma'am. It is a wonderful session and highly informative and innovative. I thank our management members for giving us the opportunity to have orientation on innovation. I thank our honorary correspondent Shri Gugilam Ramesh sir and our dynamic principal Dr. T. Mohanashri ma'am, vice principal Dr. P.B. Vanitha ma'am, and academic vice principal Dr. M.V. Napinai ma'am for the constant support. I also thank for the guidance given by IIC SKPC President Dr. M.R. Sumati ma'am and Vice President Dr. B. Rani ma'am, Convener Dr. N. Nirmala ma'am, Innovation Coordinator Dr. A.S. Naglata ma'am, Innovation Staff Member Ms. Shushma S. Chavla ma'am, IIC coordinators and students, team members of innovation activities. Finally, I thank our faculties and students who took part and supported us from the beginning to the end. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Girls, please find the link here to give your feedback.
The link for the feedback form is posted in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form.
சொல்லுங்க.
Hemalata, you have any question to ask?
I kindly request the participants to switch on the video for a minute for the photo session.
I request all the participants to switch on the video to take a pic. Again, I request all the participants to switch on the video to take a pic.
Dear participants, kindly switch on your video for a minute.
I request all the participants to switch on the video to take a peek, please. The IIC members, kindly switch on your video.
Like it is disabled.
Thank you, ma'am. Lisa Shiva Rani, ma'am. Really, it is a rocking show, and I have taken a lot of insight in this innovation, thoughts, and other thing. Really, made a very big day for me. Thank you, ma'am.
I think the video is disabled for the participants. That's why they're able to unlock, I think.
Ma'am, I have been actually given them the choice, ma'am. I have not logged it.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Ma'am, shall we stop the YouTube live streaming, ma'am?
Yeah, you can. Srivashini, have you posted the feedback link, Amma?
Link on the
Yes,
YouTube.
Yes, ma'am, I
Please
have
share the link
posted,
on
ma'am.
YouTube as well.
Yeah. Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Ma'am, shall I post it in the Zoom platform also, ma'am?
I did, dear. I did.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.